All right, I think we're live. What's up, guys? This is Tellman Knudson and Victoria Gallagher.
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Cool. So, hey, guys, this is the first Overcome Everything podcast, and we are doing it on Facebook Live via BeLive.tv, which I've seen people messing around with for a while, and I'm looking on my Overcome Everything Facebook page, and it looks like that's working. So if you go on over to facebook.com/overcome everything, I'm going to go ahead and share this on my personal timeline. And Victoria, if you can do the same thing, that would be awesome. And then, guys, if you're watching this, if you can help us spread the word about the very first Overcome Everything podcast episode by sharing this everywhere you can, it would be awesome. So join us for the first Overcome Everything podcast with Victoria Gallagher and Tellman Knudson. Boom. All right. And we're off. Oh, I spelled overcome wrong. How awesome is that?
Oh, here we are. Okay. I'm going to share that.
Boom.
All right.
Awesome. So, yeah, while we're out there sharing a little bit before we get started, I just tried Be Live for the first time last night, and it was the coolest test run ever. I met another hypnotist and NLP practitioner who trained with Bandler, and I think he trained probably in the exact same hotel that the training that I took with Bandler was, which is very funny, in Orlando. And we had a great conversation. It was very fun. Brandon Campbell. So it was cool. But Victoria, you're the first official guest for the Overcome Everything podcast.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. It's good. It's a good feeling.
That's right. So,
live. Okay, doing a little share here.
Yeah. Go for it. While you're doing, just let me know when you're done. So, guys, let me cue this up for you. So, my name's Tellman Knudson, and to my, I think, as you're viewing, probably to my left is the brilliant Victoria Gallagher of HipTalk.com. And we're both hypnotists. We have both been making our living doing hypnosis in various ways, in various shapes, in various forms, but mostly online for over a decade apiece. And it's absolutely awesome. And we started working together on some cool projects. And we're going to be talking with Victoria here today about how she got involved with hypnosis, how she uses the power of the mind, hypnosis, in order to overcome obstacles and transform and improve her life. We're going to be talking about law of attraction. We're going to be talking about this cool new platform that we created specifically for hypnotists in order to help them find perfect clients and in order to help people find their perfect hypnotists. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. Victoria, are you done with your sharing for the moment?
I am for the moment.
Nice. Well, guys, the biggest way that you can help us out right now is by spreading the word about this podcast. And if you're watching this live, then share it on your timeline, share it on your pages, or share it wherever you have your biggest following. We would love for your help spreading the word. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, and it's going to be awesome. But Victoria, there's a lot about you that I don't know. We've just gotten to know each other a little bit in the last couple of months. I would love to just start by asking some questions about hypnosis and how you got into all this stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So I know for a lot of people, hypnosis is a weird topic, right? Unless you're a hypnotist or your life has already been transformed with hypnosis. Some people, a lot of people are very skeptical or very confused about what it actually means. So how did you get into hypnosis and when? What's your story?
Sharing this story is always a little bit like, where do I start? Do I start from the second grade? Do I start from high school after I graduated? Do I start from those days when I started getting into personal growth? So I'll start there, and we can kind of fill in the blanks later. So I was kind of going through a real major growth spurt in my life, and I started taking a lot of personal growth courses. And one of my favorite things that would happen during these courses would be that we would close our eyes, we would start to visualize things. They didn't call it hypnosis at all in the courses. And I got so much transformation out of doing these, these forgiveness techniques and these these stress reduction techniques and these confidence boosting techniques. I mean, I just literally just was beside myself with confidence, and I wanted everyone I knew to come and take these courses. And it was really difficult to get people, off their couch to go spend 4 days and, thousands of dollars to go take these courses and these trainings that I was taking. So I just came up with an idea one day. I'm like, what if I created a way, at the time they were cassette tapes, to bring these exercises and these visualizations into people's homes so that they don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on this training, and they can do it without any embarrassment. They can do it, people even have a hard time just coming up with the money just to pay a hypnotist. So what if I could introduce people to this world that I've been exposed to and give them these recordings that they can use in the comfort of their own home? And it took me literally a couple of years from that point to realize what that was. Was it visualizations? Was it closed eye techniques? Was it meditation? What am I doing here? How do I get some validation that what I'm even saying makes any sense and is actually going to get the transformation like I got? So I really began a journey online, started doing a lot of research, started writing a lot of the meditations, and started letting a lot of my friends listen to them. And they were just totally blown away by it. And backing up, as a child, I wanted to be a singer. That was the first thing that I ever really wanted to do. So I had formal voice training, for many, many years. And I also knew people in the recording industry. So it was really easy for me to go and, make the recordings with beautiful, beautifully blended with background music and nature sounds and everything. And so people were just blown away. I was blown away. I loved listening to the sound of my own voice. Most people don't, but I actually do. So after my search of, figuring out what this was, I stumbled upon a hypnosis certification course. And this is when I was living in Las Vegas. And I was a stockbroker at the time, making, very, very good income, and, but just stuck, just no passion for what I was doing anymore. And, so, it really was a no-brainer when I saw this course, and it didn't even matter what it cost. The next class was 2 weeks, and I signed up, and I decided that I was going to be a hypnotist. And I shut my office. I opened my office. I told my boss what I was doing, and he gave me 30 days. He said, you have to make a decision. And I literally, I had no income as a hypnotist yet, and I was leaving a 6-figure a year job. And yeah, and that's where it all started. And I used hypnosis to get myself to the place where I needed to be in order to, and it was a rough couple of years. It really, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was a rough couple of years getting started. But that was in 1999. And here I am 18 years later, still doing it, and, people told me that, oh, you can't make a living online. Okay. You can't, right. And so that's how I got started.
That's cool. Yeah. I got started as a hypnotist in 2000. Right. And then in 2004, I got tired of my local rural Vermont economy and went online, and yeah, back in the day, 15 years ago, everybody thought the internet was going to blow up in a year anyway.
Oh yeah.
Not exist anymore, and so, yeah, it's nice when you can prove people wrong and do awesome stuff.
Exactly. No, I was one of the first people that was selling Netscape stock as a stockbroker.
Nice.
Yeah. And my boss thought that was going to blow up. And there was a time when the internet stocks were not doing so well, but they're all doing pretty good now.
Now, how many different, if you had, I don't know if you know the exact number or not, but how many recordings have you made that you have available for sale online? I know you've done a ton.
Oh, I would say at this point, at least 600.
Cool.
Or, I mean, if not more, but
I mean, that's a lot more than at least than I have available for sale. You know, I worked with one-on-one clients for a long time. 600 recordings available online is off the charts. It's incredible. You have a couple fans here, Victoria. Peter Kramer.
Hi, Peter.
I don't know if you know Peter or not.
How are you? Yes, Peter's a fan.
Nice. And we have Saul. What's up, Saul? Saul Moraney.
Hi, Saul.
Saul. So, guys, check it out. So, we're using Be Live, and it's a totally free service, which is pretty wild. And it gets, it allows us to make really nice looking Facebook Live broadcasts and do all these recordings. So it's pretty great. But you guys can type your comments in on Facebook if you're doing it while we're live, and we can respond. So if you guys have questions about hypnosis, or you have questions you want to ask Victoria, or if you have anything you want to ask me, type it in and we will do our best to answer it. Both Victoria and I do have an appointment in a little bit, so there's going to be a cutoff time for this interview. However, while we're live, if you want to get your questions answered about hypnosis, now is a very rare time when you can ask two of the best hypnotists in the world any question that you have. And as long as it's not too lewd, we'll post it and answer it for you live here. So you've done all these recordings. You've been online or working, attempting to really get things online since 1999, which is extraordinary. And so when you became a hypnotist, did you spend a long time working with clients one-on-one, or did you go straight into recording land?
I did both. We had an assignment actually to make a course. And so my very, very first product ever was called the Stress Management Workshop. And I always have to do things the really hard way. Couldn't just come out with one cute little weight loss CD that everybody would be interested in. I decided to do stress management, which a lot of people don't recognize that most people have so much stress and it's affecting their lives, and they don't realize how much it's impacting their lives. Anyways, it was a 12-session program that dealt with everything from their money issues to learning how to balance their checkbooks. I mean, it dealt with a lot of money things, but it dealt with emotions. And anyway, so that was my very, very first program. But I also decided that I wanted to work one-on-one with clients, and I did that. I started my office, and the chair was filling up pretty fast, and I really had to be able to balance doing my recording business and now having a new full-time job of getting clients, working with clients. And, so I was working, from pretty much 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight every day, doing this until I built my online business enough to the point where it was just too much work, too much time out of my day to see clients. But I loved working with clients, and the only thing I didn't love about it is why I got into this business was A, to help people, but B, to create time freedom for myself. Yeah. And I don't like to, even though I'm a very structured person, I don't like to adhere to somebody else's schedule. Right. And so that's the only reason why I kind of stopped. That's one of the reasons why I stopped, doing the one-on-one sessions. But I would have to say that any hypnotist that you go to buy recordings from, if they have not done one-on-one sessions, for at least a good, 5 to 7 years that I did, and I still do them over the phone from time to time. I don't do them as much anymore. But once or twice a week, I have a session on Skype or on phone, and it keeps you sharp. It keeps the information, coming in, what's going on these days. Problems are changing. The things that people worry about and get stressed over are changing. The economy is changing. Politics is changing. Everything's changing. And so you always kind of have to be an open receptacle to what's going on with people and how are people responding to you. And that was how I believe I got to the point where my programs became super effective because I would save the tapes that I made for people. I kept a copy of them, and the ones where people came back and said, "Hey, this really worked. I dropped a couple of pounds. This happened, that happened. I'm feeling so much better." And those are the ones that I kept. And those are the ones that I would rearrange to take the personalization out of them and make recordings out of them. So anyway, I really enjoyed getting all that information and really understanding much more how people's brains work than just reading in a book or doing it, the little bit of training that you get when you get your certification. The real training comes in, continuing to do this over and over and over again.
And that's where your confidence comes from too, right? I mean, when you know how to deal with people around certain situations and you know with absolute certainty that they're going to respond to certain types of techniques and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And now it just comes through reviews. I mean, I don't mean to toot my horn, but I wake up every morning and I get to read reviews of my products. And if I wasn't getting those reviews, I got to tell you, there'd be no way I could sit here 18 years later and continue to pump out recordings, not knowing that they're doing anything for people. Right. I mean, but aside from just having the liberty to live the way that I live, it's all about that. I know that I'm making a huge difference in people's world and giving people a new perspective on the challenges that they face in their life, and just showing them new ways of thinking that are going to cause them to get the results that they have been looking for all their life, and they haven't been able to get any other way, because it doesn't work to just say something to the conscious mind. You have to somehow get that information into the part of the brain that does this automatically for you.
Right. That's right. So, Victoria, I couldn't agree more that you really sharpen your saw by working with clients one-on-one. But I've talked with thousands and thousands of hypnotists, and most of them, are still exclusively working with clients one-on-one, are way undercharging and underselling themselves because they have no confidence around sales. How important or would you urge hypnotists who are skilled and have some experience and some confidence working with clients one-on-one, would you urge them? Would you support them? Would you say it's a good idea or a bad idea for them to enter the world of creating recorded sessions and recorded programs in order to get it out there and help the world?
Oh, you absolutely need to have recordings just even as a supplement, because it's evolution. Number one, that's where people are going. People want fast. They want now. They don't want to get in their car and drive 20 minutes. And, you're always going to work with people, but it's a wonderful way to market yourself. Every client that I've ever had since 2005 and stopped working with clients in Las Vegas and moved my office to where I don't have a chair. Right. So I no longer have a chair, but I have a phone and I have Skype. So ever since I got rid of the chair, I've still worked with clients, but those clients come to me through my recordings. And they get a taste of what I'm all about. And after they've listened to me over and over again, some of them think, wow, if it works this well in a recording, I wonder what having a live one-on-one session with Victoria would be like. And I get that all the time. And I highly recommend that. As a marketing tool, as just a way to give something additional as a bonus to your clients, give them something extra that they can do. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like to think about it a little bit like legacy and permanent impact on the world. or at least as permanent as we're going to get. You know, you can work with people one-on-one and you can work with them for an individual session. But the reality is when you're dead and gone and they're dead and gone, that's it. And I'm not saying don't help people one-on-one, but if you create recordings and you create things, especially now in the internet age where we're transcending cassette tapes, right? Mm-hmm. That's around essentially forever. As long as humanity's around and they're getting value and benefit from your words and the things that you've created, you can have a permanent impact on people for generations and generations and generations to come. So kudos to you for being one of the first hypnotists to really go full throttle with this online in the early days of the internet. It's absolutely amazing. You really forged blazed some trails in the in the forest of the internet. So that's really, really great.
Wow, thank you.
So what are you specializing in today? I'm asking kind of facetiously because I already know, but what are you specializing in today? How do you help people? How do you focus on helping people? Who do you focus on helping?
All right.
Talk to us a little bit about what you're working on these days.
You know, so this kind of, I'm going to answer it in a little bit of a story, because with my background in sales and my background as a stockbroker, even though I don't want to be in that environment anymore, those are kind of my people, the people that are, goal setting, the people who want motivation, the people who are in some sort of business building, entrepreneurial thing, and so there's that. There's the success-oriented people that are looking to have some kind of career success. But really, after watching The Secret come out many years ago, which I'm sure very, very many people are familiar with, I had all throughout my entire hypnosis career, all the recordings I ever had, I used to listen to people like Shakti Gaiwan, creative visualization, and Deepak Chopra, and all these woo-woo spiritual people that would talk about, the law of attraction in their own way. And so I would put some of this woo-woo stuff, this magical woo-woo stuff in my programs, this magnetizing energy, and I kind of thought I was making it up, even though, there was some validity because, these are the types of books and teachers that I was listening to. So when The Secret came out and it was such a big hit, and now everyone is starting to talk about the law of attraction again, it just gave me permission to say, okay, now everybody knows that this is a real thing. And now I can really talk about it. Now I don't have to keep it as my dirty little secret of things that I've been planting into people's minds anyway, without them really realizing it. Now I don't have to keep that a secret anymore. Now I can talk about law of attraction with people, and people know what I mean when I'm talking to them. So it's just
like a blank look on their face, right?
Exactly. And so it just really, ever since then, what's that been the last 6-7 years ago,
yep.
Maybe longer. That's when I came out with my very first Law of Attraction DVD, and it just spoke to people. I mean, it was honestly, it was just the thing that, was flying off the shelves for the first time. It was wow, people really, really like that. But more than that, that's the thing that has the most reviews, the most positive reviews. And so people are clearly getting things out of the program, and learning to really empower themselves and realize that they're not a victim to their circumstance. And that's just always something that I wanted to teach people, that you can create whatever you can imagine. And that's what the law of attraction teaches. And so I teach that, and I teach it over and over in different aspects. I teach it through attracting money, attracting new customers, attracting clients, and attracting the love of your life, which I did. And, and it's really fun for me because it's just It's a positive statement. I'll leave the, dealing with depression and anxiety and things like that, addictions to other people. That's just not, I have programs on that and they're wonderful and they work, but where I'm really focused is in this law of attraction area and really trying to help people to make heads or tails out of how it works, why it works, and apply it to their lives and get the results that they want.
Awesome. Well, I just popped a link in the Facebook Live and I threw it up on the video too to check out your new program, the Gratitude course. And so if you could talk about that, and that'd be awesome. But we have a couple questions coming in.
Sure.
And it fits in perfectly with what you were talking about. So Saul Moraney wants to know if you could please talk a little bit about money blocks.
Okay. Well, money blocks is actually a much more general question than you might realize because everybody has money blocks. There's different kinds of money blocks. So if you want to pop another question on there, like specific to what kind of money blocks are you having?
Let me interject on this for a second.
Sure.
Victoria. So one of the biggest challenges that I found with people who are having trouble achieving what they want to achieve in their life is when given the opportunity to ask questions to people who have the answers, is they don't actually ask clear questions. And the clearer the question is that you ask, the clearer the answer is that you're going to get. So
right.
If you really want to get a question answered, ask the question you really want the answer to, and chances of you getting a useful answer go up exponentially, guys. So anybody that's watching this or any future videos, ask clear questions, get clear answers. It's kind of a basic law of the universe that will make your life much, much, much better. But
let me take it on though, the way that it was asked. And that's the thing. We talk about being very specific when coming up with goals and the reason why we need to do that is because the subconscious mind is always listening and it's thinking in pictures and it's thinking in feelings. And so if you were to describe the thing that you want to a friend, would they get the same image in their head as you have in your head? And that's a good test to know if you're being specific. But money blocks, basically, they are your limiting beliefs around money. And they come up at various different times of your life when you're most vulnerable to getting programmed, particularly in childhood. Most of them, you didn't even have a rational, conscious thinking mind up until you were about 6 years old. So everything that you ever heard your parents say, your clergymen say, your friends say, your teachers say, all of those up until you were 6 years old, every single last word went straight to your subconscious mind to program you to have what you want. And there's money blocks that go like, money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. You have to work hard for money. That was mine. That was the one. And I'm still working through that one. I'll be honest with you. I work hard. and I'm kind of proud of it. So it's still a big money block with me, but at least it's not blocking me from success. It just blocks me from
Victoria, I've never met a millionaire, a multimillionaire, or a billionaire that didn't have a very, very well-developed work ethic.
Yes, exactly.
Unless they inherited the money and then they lose it all. Like anyone who actually made the money themselves, my experience has been work ethic is critical.
Yes, it absolutely is. And, you have to, but I believe that a lot of people work hard at doing things that they don't even enjoy doing. And that's the sad part. Right. And, that's what I'm so passionate about is also helping people to endeavor to do something that they never believed that they could really do, but they deep down inside, it's your dirty little secret. It's the thing you really want to be doing. And But you have these blocks that say that you have to just, work as an end, as a means to an end.
Right.
And, so these are just programs you picked up as a child or at other, if you're in a highly emotional state and somebody tells you something about, you're not going to be able to make a living doing that. Okay. You might believe that, you might buy into that. So these are just things, these are just thoughts that you've bought into. They're just beliefs. Nothing else. They're not like actual physical blocks in your brain. I mean, there are physical things that happen. They're imaginary. And now your brain really physically does have little connections between.
But they come from your imagination. I mean,
they do
something different, right? So you want to get into this. So we've got a really good clarification from Marcy that I think really could take this conversation to the next level. So originally, Marcy said, I have an issue finishing projects. And then after our statement about being more clear, she gives us more detail. And she says, if I finish my projects, then I can make money. If I make money, people now have new expectations of me. That scares me. For me, I see money as a weapon of control. I have a hard time with that level of with that responsibility. And then she says, the responsibility of using the money in a good way. What do you think about that?
That's a very legitimate concern, because I think a lot of people go through that. Now you have a whole new level of responsibility, but really it has more to do with what you are making that mean for you. You can only be responsible for you and your level of success and what you choose to make that responsibility, mean for you. Just because you make more money doesn't mean that you have to fulfill everybody else's expectations. And so that's the block that you have to kind of work through. It can't all be answered. I mean, that's a very specific question. It can't all be answered in this 1 minute. It's something that you're going to need to kind of do a little bit more inner work on with your subconscious mind and ask, just keep diving a little deeper into that. Well, what if I were to let go of that feeling of everybody else's expectations of me? What if I were to let go of that? Because do you really need that? Do you really need to carry around what everybody else expects you to be responsible for doing?
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I like to look at money as energy, right? That's all it is. It's energy. It's pure, compact, condensed energy in the form of a little paper bill, right? And you can do all sorts of stuff with energy. You can waste it. Would you rather have a trickle of a stream, or would you rather be in control of a raging river that you can direct and you can accomplish amazing things with? Start nonprofits, start charities, build businesses, create jobs, transform the world, right? Save people from, give people cancer treatments that couldn't afford it otherwise. I mean, you can do amazing things when you have amazing amounts of money, amazingly good things in the world, but it does take more responsibility. Rich people expand the level of responsibility they want to take on. For example, an entrepreneur, generally speaking, takes on a much greater degree of responsibility than an employee. That's the deal. That's why they get paid more, right?
Exactly.
So your willingness to harness that energy and power and do good with it is what will make it a lot easier for you to have more money and do great things with it. So very good stuff. Very good stuff. So Victoria, let's talk a little bit about your new program, and then we'll talk a little bit about the platform and how all those things integrate in over the next 10 minutes or so before we wrap things up. So tell us about the gratitude course.
Okay, absolutely. So, so basically working with law of attraction, there's many components that help law of attraction work better. Law of attraction is, it's all about feeling good, keep getting those high vibrations in your body. And one of the highest producing vibration energies is what the energy of love and the energy of gratitude. When you have gratitude, not just for, the thing that you are asking to receive, but if you start to look into your life and thank everything that you don't even realize that you have that's there and that you take for granted, when you start to really appreciate all those things, appreciate just your body as it is, even if it's not perfect, exactly, appreciating the beautiful day. And so now, it seems like a simple thing to do, but a lot of people, it's easy to get back into the habit of thinking negatively, thinking, oh, I don't have this, and oh, I wish I had that, and oh, that person has that, and oh, my life isn't working the way that I want to. And we spend so much more time because it's just the way that we've been designed to think over years and years and years and years of negative programming that we receive from the outside world. Turn on the news, talk to anybody for longer than 10 minutes and something negative, some bad thing that happened to them in their day is bound to come up. You get attacked with it all the time, and you're just constantly attacked with these negative vibes and these negative thoughts. So the gratitude, it doesn't come natural for us. And so the course is, I can't remember how many sessions are in there. There's quite a few. There's a lot of bonuses, but there's a few videos. There's an intro. There's the whole gratitude video, and there's the tips for success, and then there's the audio that you can take with you and some bonuses. And what it does is it reprograms your mind so that you automatically, naturally, effortlessly, and easily begin to think more thoughts of gratitude. And the more you begin to think and focus on thoughts of gratitude, the more you're going to lift that vibration to a higher plane where you can begin to attract the money, attract the love, attract the health, attract the vacations, attract the things that the new career, all of those things that you are, my cat's walking around my desk. I'm trying to control everything here. All the things, I attracted him. They're attracted to, they're here. Say hello. Anyway, so all of the things that you are looking at attracting in your life, including cats.
If you want more cats, got to get Victoria's program. You should do a bonus, cat attraction.
Exactly.
Attraction formula.
It just is going to put you in. And not even just for attracting things, but just to feel better, just so your life works better. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're constantly looking at them and saying what they're doing wrong and all of those things, do you think you're going to have a good relationship or a bad relationship with them? But if you constantly think of all the wonderful aspects of them, once a day, you think of 10 things wonderful about this person, right, you're going to fall back in love with them. And the same thing is true in your job and with your friends and with everything. And just in being in a happier place in your life, you're going to tap into more resources of people, of things, of brain power, of imagination and creativity, and you're going to set the world on fire. So I encourage everyone to get my gratitude course because it is the best feeling on earth when you have gratitude. That's and right. Just go get it.
And it's important to remember all the stuff, all the money, all the things that you want in your life. The reality is what you really want is to feel better. You want to feel better about yourself. You want to feel better about what you have accomplished. You want to feel better about what you're working toward. You want to feel better about the people around you. And it all starts with gratitude. And that's something that you can choose today. That's not something that, that's something everyone can do today, with or without a course. But I'll tell you what, hypnosis makes it way faster and way easier.
Right.
So
Well, it just makes it a more natural part of your thinking process.
that's right. That's right. I learned about this concept called positive focus from one of my entrepreneurial mentors, Dan Sullivan. And so every night at dinner time, sit down with family. And we do this at the beginning of every one of our team meetings for my company and have been for years, is we start with a positive focus. We go around the table and everybody says the single thing that they're most happy or excited about in their life at that moment in time. And it's the best way to start any meeting of the minds, whether it's a family
love that.
meeting, a business meeting. It's the best because it burns away any stress, any frustration, any anger. Because when you think about the things that you're happiest about and most excited about, you can't hold the things that you're irritated about in your mind at the same time. You just can't do it.
No,
so,
you can't hold a positive and negative thought at the same time. It's impossible. So
right.
if you decide to choose to have the positive thought there more often, and not only that, but your mind is going to become more rewired to automatically choose the positive thoughts over the negatives, and it gets easier and easier over time.
Cool. Well, Victoria, I know that you have another meeting in just a couple short minutes. So
Literally
I'm going to pop this link up for people again. The one that's showing up on the screen is a little bit too long. So make sure to click on the link in the comments on the Facebook Live down below, and we'll work on shortening up those links in the future. But the Victoria's Gratitude Program was the first program that was published on this new collaborative project that we've started with the world's best hypnotists. And what we're doing is we're helping hypnotists around the world in order to reach their perfect clients, and we're helping perfect people in order to find their perfect hypnotists that can help them with the issues that they're looking for help with. So if you want to experience more gratitude in your life immediately on a daily basis, Victoria Gallagher is your woman. And you can go to platform.overcomeeverything.com if you want to see the whole marketplace and all the different amazing programs that we have, or you can click on the link in this Facebook Live right now to go to the page with the video and all the information on Victoria's absolutely astounding gratitude hypnosis program. I want to say, Victoria, I have a great deal of gratitude and appreciation for you jumping in and being the first Overcome Everything podcast interviewee and such a fabulous, fabulous hypnotist and an example of exactly how incredibly well hypnotists can do by leveraging the power of the internet and recording themselves and putting themselves out there to impact the lives of not tens, not hundreds, not thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions and millions of individuals. So thank you for being a leader in the field of hypnosis. It's a pleasure and an honor to work with you. It's been absolutely awesome.
Thank you, Tellman. And it's also a pleasure and an honor to work with you. I feel a lot of gratitude for you putting this platform together and just, all the, side help that you've helped me with. And so thank you very much.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you to all of our incredible viewers. And thank you to everybody involved with Overcome Everything. This is awesome. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. If you're a hypnotist and you want to get involved, track me down on Facebook, send me a private message, let me know what's up. And Victoria, jump on your next call. We'll end this broadcast now and talk to everybody soon.
All right.
Over and out. Thanks again, Victoria.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone.